sinking sand. All other ground is sinking sand. I'm very anxious being here. Okay, my name is Sonita. I'm coming from Melbourne. My coming here, I heard about the program by eavesdropping from other church members after the Christmas Sabbath, talking about the program. I didn't hear much about it, but when I just heard about the spiritual component of it, I said, I'm gonna go and see what happens there. Back home in Africa, we do camp meetings. So I was like, oh, this is an opportunity to go and camp with others and experience God and see what happens. And during the year, the beginning of the year, I made 2 resolutions to grow spiritually in the Lord and goals around health and well-being. I don't usually do this yearly. What I do is I write 2015 resolutions of nothing. And what happens is I don't accomplish any of them, or I forgot about them 2 months or a little bit into the year. I do nothing about it. But I thank God that I'm here. And when I was on my way here on Sunday, I was aware we were going to do a fruit fast, but I didn't know it was going to be fruit fast in the morning, lunch and evening. So I told myself I'm going to drive through a very close drive-through close to where we will be camping, and then I just arrived there, with my tummy full, and I'll just do the fruit supper with others, but I'll be okay. But guess what God does? When I became closer to here, there was no way to go to any drive-through. And I was like, okay, God, maybe you're telling me something, or I don't know, but I think it's God who was talking to me that it's enough. Before I came here, this is my first week of surviving without irritating my tummy because of overeating or of having stomach issues or waking up the next day with a full tummy without food being digested because I'm eating around 11 or 12 a.m. I'm coming from work around 12 or late, then I'm on the big screen eating and then sleeping and then saying, God, I'm having tummy issues, and that's very being irresponsible. So when I came here, in terms of, I liked the idea that the physical is parallel to the spiritual. So I learned how am I going to take care of this body temple. And that God cares about what we put in, how we care for our bodies. And I'm on a journey, and I hope God is going to continue helping me. I'm not a very junky eater. I try to eat vegetables, and I stay with another friend who I work with, and she's not Adventist, but we go to church together, and we have been cutting down meat and other junk foods together. So I hope this program will help me to continue living healthy and surrendering to God, because I'm not going to do it with my own power. And in terms of spiritual growth, I think I've learned a lot, and I'm blanking out because it's just a lot I need to digest to calm down and go through what I was writing and learning. And the best part was the discussions that I had. Our group was here with my brothers and sisters. It was very educative, very giving me a lot of clarity in terms of how God wants us to live in the world, and how God works within us and through us to reach other people. And most of the things that I still remember, we learned them today. I think the teaching from Pastor Bad, when we live here, we are like a church, and the church is a safe place. Am I going to be a safe place for people to go? And also my sister, she spoke about when Judas sold Jesus, people couldn't differentiate between the disciples and God, because they were one. They looked the same. Judas had to kiss Jesus for, people to know that this was the person. So I also want to be like that, to be like Jesus, because, so that people see Jesus through me. I cannot do it by my own will or power. I want him to help me. And then Daniel 10 verse 12, then he said to me, do not fear, Daniel, for the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come because of your words. So, so encouraging that God sees us from the little steps that we were making towards God. They are recorded in heaven with fearful exactness, and we need to die into the self or any efforts that we are having. We can, that is helping our own salvation. We need to die to that and allow God to live in us and to help us. And also, verse 13 is making me a bit scared. Daniel 10 verse 13, it's saying, but the prince of the kingdom of Persia withstood me 21 days before he appeared to Daniel to confirm that his words were heard in heaven. So my prayer is, being on a spiritual journey, that God should keep the hope, should sustain me during the 21 days, wherever my answers or my direction from God is held by any principalities of this earth, or the principalities and the spiritual warfare that are happening. And also learned that I have social work background, so I'm a social worker, child protection background. Currently I'm doing family violence response. So when things happen, we want to use our worldly profession to attend or to address situations, but that doesn't work. For we are not fighting against exactly flesh and blood. We are fighting against the principalities and spirit and the principalities and the spirit of darkness. So I think we need to constantly be reminded to go back to God, ask for his help. He will lead us. And in terms of physical, because of I can't finish the spiritual, I'll take time for other people, but I'll just end. In terms of the physical, I think just the mental clarity, detoxification from the big screen, getting enough sleep, and I can feel my body. I'm feeling that I'm well, mentally, physically. And when I overate, I would have pains like here, just below my ab. So I've been touching it a couple of times, wanting to hear what's happening. Do I have any pains? I don't feel any. And in terms of the food, when I saw the food, the first thing that came to my mind is I won't be full, because I'm a person who would go to the pantry or refrigerator and eat, think, what else haven't I taken from there, or haven't I eaten? Not because I'm hungry, but it's in my mind, and I know it's there, and I need to eat it, but it's unhealthy. So when Joy and others spoke about lessons around self-control, self-awareness, and living in a community, and also communication, stress. So lots of things were speaking to me, and there's a couple of times that I've seen that was the writer of the book seeing me. Does the preacher know me? What's happening there? So I had a lot of the ahas and the oh my God, like I've been writing notes, and I've seen my sister Linda also write notes. So on my notes there are some areas where I wrote, oh my God. Oh my God. So so I want to thank God for this opportunity that I'm here, and it's not by mistake, it was planned by God. And I want to thank God for each and everyone who's here. I think I've had little conversations with everybody except a few, but I've spoken to everyone. And my cheerleader Mary, she was telling me, go, you can speak. and sue me. But I've enjoyed being here. And in terms of the food, the moment I sit and chew my food, I would feel fulfilled.
Yes.
And I don't have any gases coming up. I don't have any issues. I'm drinking my water. I was drinking water, but in the wrong way. I would flush down the water. I want to drink the whole water. Like one time, and I'm running to the bathroom, and oh, it's happening. You're at work. You can't continue doing that. But I think knowing the right ways of doing it, and I couldn't wait to tell my friends about this. And when I came here, my manager gave me a last-minute 1 week leave. I'm new at my workplace, and she asked me, do you have any plans? Usually I wouldn't have any plans to tell anyone. I would just tell them, I'm very spontaneous. I'll see what I'll do. But this time I told you I'm going to this program, and I didn't know a spiritual background or a religious background, so I didn't want to rub people in a wrong way. Then I started explaining, going around in circles, it's the Mecca Hills, that's this. And she was like, oh my God, I know what you mean. You don't have to struggle to explain to me. I can't wait to hear when you come back how the program went. So, so when the pastor was saying we're little churches, we've got a responsibility. But my aim and my desire is for God to transform me, for me to live in the Lord, for God to help me and work on my character. And the biggest mistake that I think I would ever do in my life is to portray an outward appearance to the world that is not seen by my family. I want to minister within my family first and then go out. My mother always says charity begins at home. So I want it to be a lifestyle. And if I'm not doing it in my family, may Lord not allow me to go out and help others, because God is love. I need to show it within. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.